Hey, Giant Musty's here with Kong Skull Island Trailer 2 reaction. This just dropped last night. Let's get to it. The following preview.
These are photos of an island in the South Pacific.
The place where myth and science meet.
We use explosives to shake the earth, helping us to map the surface of the island. They're dropping bombs. Scientific instruments.
Is that a monkey?
That grew on me real quick.
You knew that thing was out here?
I'm sorry for your men, Colonel. But if you want to make their sacrifice worthwhile, hit us home with proof. Monsters exist.
Whoa. Your friend there can put that down.
What the hell is this place?
What the hell is this
That's
place?
He's
Oh, that was cool. The images colliding together.
keeps to himself mostly. Well, you don't go into someone's house and start dropping bombs unless you're picking a fight. Kong's God on the island, but the devils live below us.
And what are they called?
I call them skull crawlers.
Why?
Never said that name out loud before. It sounds stupid now that I say. Just you call them whatever you want.
It's just captivating my attention. A giant moose or something. Or buffalo. Ooh. Oh, he's on fire.
It's a good group of boys. We're all gonna die together out here. You shouldn't have come here.
Wow. I'm gonna have to watch that a few more times. I'll get right back to you. Okay, right away, first thing I noticed is that this trailer seems to be following the 10 Cloverfield Lane style of promotion. Instead of starting off with a jukebox clicking and then a 60s theme, we now have a projector and 70s music playing. Not much else to say, I'm just pointing that out. After reading some comments, I see people are doubting this movie and claiming that the comedy is out of place, but in my opinion, I think that's just the way this trailer is edited. There's some scenes where it seems like things were spliced together to give the impression of comedy, but it may not actually be presented that way in the actual film. Sure, there will be some ridiculous comedy relief moments. I'm not sure what to think about when that helicopter pilot says,
Is that a monkey?
I guess it's realistic. How else would you react to unexpectedly seeing a giant ape on an island? Besides a few jokes, I feel like this movie will have that genuinely darker feeling that people wanted with Godzilla. In contrast to darker tones, one thing you probably already noticed is the vibrant colors. It's almost psychedelic at some points. As for Kong himself, I love the fact that they're taking that old Toho approach, standing upright and more human-like rather than ape-like. I love the sense of scaling. The moment when you see King Kong crossing a river or a lake, it really drives that sense of him being a god, as they mention in the trailer.
Kong's God on the island, but the devils live below us.
Perhaps I'm drawing false conclusions, but that line about the devils living underneath him, in my opinion, seems to be hinting at Godzilla. I mean, sure, this trailer is specifically talking about these new skull crawler creatures that come out of the ground, but in Godzilla 2014, they actually said that monsters like Godzilla had buried themselves deeper underground to get to higher points of radiation to feed. I think this could be just a little Easter egg subcontext building up to the 2020 King Kong vs. Godzilla movie. Speaking of Godzilla, there's been a lot of speculation whether or not Rodan, Mothra, or any other Godzilla monsters could appear in this movie. I want to say it's not looking likely at this point. The speculation that Rodan might have been in there because of the poster with a pterodactyl-like skull. After having seen this trailer footage, it appears that that skull is now just these new skull crawler creatures. But they still do resemble Rodan. And there's one other thing that hints that there might be something bigger. And that's this picture right here. When they first show King Kong in this new trailer, notice these helicopters are engaged with Kong. However, this one guy manning the guns seems to be focused on something further to our left, which hasn't been shown yet. Based on how high up in the air they are compared to the skull crawlers, this could be just a giant skull crawler, or it could be something bigger like Rodan that's in the air. Perhaps the helicopter showed up in the midst of a battle between Kong and a Rodan-like creature. It's really up to the viewer to decide at this point. The only other thing I really want to point out here is this mammal-like creature. It's almost like a giant elk. I don't know if they're pitting the mammals against these reptilian creatures. Perhaps this giant horned beast is actually friendly and just quiet and peaceful, minding its own business because it lives on land rather than underground. I mean, that's open to debate. And, oh, I hate to say it, but I think this giant spider is just that. I don't think it's Kumonga, just a generic giant insect. You know, your average everyday spider. Hopefully I'm wrong. But hey, that's it. If you have any theories that are crazier than mine, drop them in the comments. You know, let us all see if you're right or wrong in time. This could be your chance to stand out and say, hey, you know, I guess what was about to happen before anybody else. So leave a comment below, and thanks for watching Giant Musties.